Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Sales Message Podcast. This is episode 328, where today we're talking about profit. Profit is a necessity, not a luxury. In my career, where I've been teaching people how to sell, I work with all sorts of different types and sizes of business and different types of business people, salespeople, etc., as you would expect. And from my experience, the smaller the business, and if we really go down to micro businesses, single person businesses, we get to this notion where profit is somehow a dirty word. And I have to remind that profit is a necessity, not a luxury. You're entitled to make profit in your business because that's paying for the service that you're providing, that's paying for your time, your value, etc. When we move away from the employee mindset of I get paid per hour to do work into the employer or the self-employed mindset of I sell stuff to make money, for some reason, profit is seen as like a dirty word. It's a shameful thing, and we should charge as little as possible in terms of profit, etc. And I completely disagree. Profit is a necessity, not a luxury. You need to have a certain amount of profit in your business to actually run the damn thing. Do you know how much it costs to run your business every single month? If you don't, this is a great exercise for you. Stop the podcast now, drop everything, look at your expenses over a year for your business, divide it by 12 and find out how much money you need to make just to open the doors every month and not even sell anything to anybody. Is it £500? Is it 1,000, 10,000? Could be more. But you have basic running costs in your business. And then you also have to understand the notion of your time. In the UK, we have the living wage. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's something like 10 or 11 pounds or something like that. Don't shoot me if I get that wrong. But there's a minimum amount of money that people earn in a job, which the government deem like any less than that is just ridiculous. And yet, in the world of small business, because profit is seen as such a shameful, dirty thing, people tend to price things as low as possible, forgetting that their time is worth, at the very least, 10 or 11 pounds minimum wage hour kind of level. And so they end up working stupid hours, 100 hours a day, 8 to 5 days a week, for 50 pence an hour, where they'd actually be better off if they had a job. And it all comes down to their scaredness, their apprehension around making profit because they somehow see profit as like this shameful, greedy thing. And it's just not the case. The profit in your products and services is what pays for your running costs of your business, and it pays for your time. And more than your time, it pays for your expertise, your effort, and the risk that you take in running your own small business. So today's episode, bit of a rant really, and it's really focused on solopreneurs, really small businesses, small business owners, new people in business, freelancers, etc. We need to try and have the most competitive prices in the marketplace, yes, but you should never be ashamed or never be fearful of making a good, healthy profit margin because it helps to cover all of your expenses. Sometimes it doesn't even get you to the bloody minimum living wage, but that's a consideration that we have. But it also builds for contingency because running your own business is a huge amount of risk. So you need to make as much money as possible where you can make it, not to rip people off. It's not what I'm advocating. But if there's profit to be had, if you've seen an opportunity and you provide enough value, you are entitled to make that profit. Profit is a necessity. It's not a luxury. Right, that's it for this ranting episode. It was a rant, wasn't it? Of the Daily Sales Message Podcast. Tomorrow, as I furiously check my notes and I can't work out where we are, so the professionalism continues here at the Daily Sales Message. The North Star of selling. The North Star of selling. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things that I talk to with my clients and students about do this, don't do this, say this, ask that, behave this way, behave that way, etc. There's only one consideration that you need to sell really well and to feel comfortable and confident when selling. Just one. All of the details, all the stuff I talk about, of course they work, of course they're wonderful, but there's one main North Star, one guiding principle that once you take it on board will help you to navigate pretty much any selling situation and do quite well too. I'll explain all about that in tomorrow's episode, so that's 329 of the podcast. We will cover that then. In the meantime, thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I do appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.